p.m. every weekday, only on 98.3 Mainland FM. Sports Cruise, 6 p.m. weekdays on 98.3.
Oh, yes! He did it! That's astonishing. It's absolutely world class.
This is not your regular sports show. This is Sport Cruise, only on Mainland 98.3 FM, the sound of Lagos. From hot transfer gist to Champions League drama, from Nigeria football madness to global sport cruise, we bring the vibes, the analysis, and pure football fire.
On your marks, get set, go!
Iguodala to Curry, back to Iguodala, up for the layup. Oh, blocked by James. LeBron James with the rejection.
No long talk. This is where sports meets swagger. No boring breakdowns, just pure energy, passion, and premium banter with your favorite crew on deck every week. Sport Cruise, where sports meets vibe.
That is a princely strike from John Duran. Open mouth roar.
Hello, my name is Godwin Enoch and I'm a broadcast journalist. Yes, my friend will tell me that I am a sport administrator by accident. Listen every day of the weekday to Sports Cruise on Mainland FM. God bless you.
Niger Nodikarila, 78 for the Tigers, 64 for Mali as Nigeria win a 7th FIBA Women's Afro Basket Championship here. It's been a story of being relentless. 28 games unbeaten on the African continent in 10 years. The last time 15, a 1-point loss to Cameroon. They've been relentless. And now a dynasty rolls on, still unbeaten after a decade. Countless challenges, 0 losses, queens of consistency, still untouchable. History has been made today. The championship, a decade of destruction, and the streak stays alive. Time keeps ticking, but their record stands still. They're perfect. And what do you mean by pressure? They don't feel it. They embrace it, and they always rise to the moment.
There's a video circulating of some middle-aged women that are being pushed to go to the football field. I best to make those dreams a reality. To the Tigress, you are champions. You are role models. You are pathfinders. You are true daughters of the land. It is my singular honor and pleasure and privilege to cherish forever. To make the following pronouncements on behalf of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Am I allowed to continue? OON National Honors for Team. OON National Honors for Team, Coach and Technical Team. $100,000 for each player. It's not yet over. There are other goodies coming. $50,000 for coach and technical team, each member. And wait for the final icing on the cake. 1 plot each for players, coach, and technical team. Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, this is leadership. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has shown leadership by recognizing and rewarding our daughters who had excelled on the continental stage. May God bless all you all.
There you have it. Congratulations to Nigeria, to the Tigress. Niger Nodikari 7th FIBA Women's Afro Basket Championship here. It's been a story of being relentless. 28 games unbeaten on the African quarterfinal on the 2nd of October 2015. A 1-point loss to Cameroon in Yaoundé, and they've never looked back since then. The Tigress, they've been special, they've been relentless, and now a dynasty rolls on, still unbeaten after a decade. Countless challenges, 0 losses, queens of consistency, still untouchable.
History has been made today. The championship game, Nigeria wins, leading the way. Niger Nodikari.
A decade of destruction, and the streak stays alive. Time keeps ticking, but their record stands still. They're perfect. And what do you mean by pressure? They don't feel it, they embrace it, and they always rise to the moment.
Though you may find from time to time complication. What is pressure? They don't feel it, and just like the superstars that they are, they keep rising above every limitation. And for 10 years on the bounce, they've not lost a single game on the African continent. From 2017 to 2019 to 2021, 2023, and now 2025. The Tigers, 5 times on the bounce. They've won the Women Afro Basket Championship, making it 7 in total, and becoming the first African nation to qualify for the FIBA World Cup, and also the first African nation to win 5 times on the bounce. And what a way to get rewarded. $100,000 each for all of the players, and $50,000 each for the coaches and the technical crew. And that does not just come empty. It also came with the national honor, ♯, like you always said, ON, Officer Order of Niger. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you another weekend of victory. Last weekend, it was the Super Falcons completing Mission X, winning V5 for the Tigers, and they've done it in a grand style. Sweet enough, both of the trophies are inaugural trophies for those tournaments. The first of the new trophies, Tigers also won the newly refurbished Afro Basket Trophy, and that has come with a grand style. Just a few minutes ago, the federal government received, and also accompanied by his wife, the wife of the vice president, and of course the wife of the president, distinguished Senator Oluremi Tinubu herself. It's a joyous moment for Nigerians to be happy. What a weekend, and I'm hoping that the Chan Eagles would also kick off their African competitions tomorrow. That is
first edition for the week, and also first edition as well for the month. So happy New new month as well to everybody. And yes, of course, I mean, earlier on today, should I say a couple of minutes ago, we had, just like you mentioned, the Vice President of the nation talking about his we also ended a little over a week ago. Don't forget as well that exactly a week ago, the Sᴏᴏᴏᴛs of Nigeria also came home with the record extending 10th WAFCON title. And yes, the Tigers of Nigeria, they also did the pits as well, making it 5 times consecutively rather that they've won as ever done in history. This also makes it their 7th time in history as well that they will be winning the FIBA Afrobasket Championship. So congratulations to them. And I think the only thing we've been clamoring and then talking about over the last week was the fact that if the Tigers of Nigeria get to this stage, that is by winning the FIBA Afrobasket Championship, they should be celebrated the same way the Sᴏᴏᴏᴛs were celebrated. Because when you're having your haircut,
you did not see Ronaldo de Lima's haircut at the 2002 World Cup final.
That was unusual.
You did not see Jubilee Sisse's Champions League World Cup cut.
Portable. No, see that one.
You did not see Mario Balotelli's mohawk. Please.
Usually
don't use that proverb.
When you have your you use razor to cut the remaining one off now. So big congratulations to the Tigers of Nigeria. They got the same $100,000, and the coaches, that's the technical crew, would also be getting $50,000. For the managers, yes, of course. Apart from that, they also got 1 flat each, and that's 3-bedroom flats right there in Abuja. But we don't know which estate they will be giving, because the Sᴏᴏᴏᴛs will definitely have their own houses. Congratulations to the Sᴏᴏᴏᴛs of Nigeria. And just like what you mentioned, see, in Nigeria, when you succeed, especially in this current Nigeria that we find ourselves now, when you succeed, you are primed to be rewarded and celebrated. Now, it was in the past where we used to get presidential handshakes from the governors, handshakes from the senators. All of that has now been put aside. Maybe I should say this is as a result of us having the National Sports Commission being brought back instead of the sports ministry, and I think that exactly has been one of the master stroke that President Tinubu has also gotten very, very right in his stadium, and long may it continue. By December, the Super Eagles of Nigeria will also be playing the AFCON, and starting from tomorrow as well, the Chan Eagles, that Super Eagles B team, would also be playing against Senegal. That is different rewarded. I'm not going to be a partisan to any form of I'm not going to say any form of derogatory comment or whatever in terms of maybe me being on one side, but I think the girls have been winning this time around, and it is high time we saw the guys also get to win some things as well.
Yes, and like I said, Nigeria go out there, whether you're a team sports, individual sports, athletes, whatever it is, whatever way you represent the country, whether it's taekwondo, in track and fields, in indoor sports,
even at the Olympics,
whatever it is that you is dilly-dallying on doing that, we push the agenda. And I like what the Tigers did.
Yeah.
The moment the Sᴏᴏᴏᴛs got rewarded, the PR
it kicked off.
The handler of the Tigers X page should also get $100,000.
I'm telling you, definitely.
Because every action, every banter, every break,
the person was just going with it.
Everything was being captured on their X page.
As well as the memes they were posting.
Whoa, it was solid. I love what they did. And I really enjoyed the semi-finals and the finals. The semi-final was tough. It was very tough against Senegal. And the final also was really huge.
The third quarter, I felt like the Sᴏᴏᴏᴛs would just went to go and sleep in that one.
Yeah, we flogged that.
I know it ended 6 points at the end of the third quarter. Okay. Then at the fourth quarter, the Tigers now came back into the game and then eventually win it out.
It was neck to neck.
It was actually neck to neck because Senegal heading into this the competition, we are 11-time champions. And obviously, whenever you met Senegal when it comes to the FIBA Afrobasket, we always get the better of them. But this time around, because the Senegalese women will
block on either the Falcons or the Tigers. The country is on a good run in terms of achievement in sports.
The women.
They're Nigerians. I don't play the gender card.
That's what I said. I said something. I said the women have campaign tomorrow against Senegal.
The Tigers are the female national team of what country?
Nigeria.
Or the Super Falcons are of all country.
Nigeria.
Exactly. So
I mean, I'm not disputing the Falcons.
No, I'm just trying to tell you that
I'm
the
not
country
disputing.
is on a good run in terms of sports and achievements.
And I further consolidated it by saying the ladies
on social media. At least the Falcons have gotten $100,000.
Imagine Victor Boniface.
So much other money.
Victor Boniface telling Aziza Oshola, should I sell account number?
Yes, now. So now the guys have the chance in December to go to the African Cup of Nations and also do us proud. And if they come back, I can even actually
company ahead of their FIBA full basket.
If they also go to win, see, this is what I dream of.
Yeah.
Football, male and female champions, Nigeria. Basketball, male and female champions, Nigeria. Table tennis, Aruna Quadri, whatever it is, whoever represents champions. Athletics, the world World Athletics Championship.
Over the weekend, we had
the 4x400 by 400 meters, but we did 3.32, which is putting our chances at a very slim space.
Very slim line.
We can still pull through.
Yeah,
so whatever it is that you represent Nigeria in, go all out there. We
will cook the soup.
We push the agenda and make sure that we get rewarded.
Just like Vice President of Nigeria said, the fourth estate of the realm.
Yes,
we do that.
We are the first, and we continue to push the agenda. All right, guys, we come back to the Tigers. We're still celebrating greatness. It's amazing. I mean, I like the fact that every new week there's something to celebrate. There's a sound bites to play. There's an announcement of a reward system, and I've always said it. Rewarding excellence should be institutionalized in this country. It shouldn't be a political thing. It shouldn't come with a government. Every government that comes, maybe they should institutionalize it. Big shout out to Diko. A big shout out to all of the guys doing some amazing stuff with the National Sports Council.
As well.
Philip Schreiber.
Bukola Olakpade as well.
If we manage to qualify for the World Cup as Super Eagles, and we now mistakenly we enter semi-final.
Now I have a theory to all of this. See, a couple of months ago, that was last year at the Paralympics, when we had a lot of several issues regarding Fʀᴏᴜ omission, from participating at the 100 meters run. And then I said something on this show. I said, see, Okwemi, until we begin to, fill round holes with round pegs or square holes with square pegs, we won't get things right. And I think this run of form for Nigeria has also coincided with the decision of the federal government as well as the president in taking out the sports ministry and now bringing in the National Sports Commission. Okay, both what's his name, Honorable Olakpade as well as Malam Diko are acute sport administrators, unlike what we are used to seeing in the past, where the former sports minister in person, we've had what's his name now? Solomon Dalong as well, who was also appointed as the sport minister.
My friend.
Before that as well, Sᴘᴏ was also appointed as the sport minister.
No, Sᴘᴏ was after Solomon.
Was after Solomon Dalong.
Was from 1999 2003.
Yeah.
No. From 2015 to 2019. Then Sᴘᴏ was from 19 to 2023.
Exactly. See, Okwemi, these guys are not sports administrators. And just like I said, until we begin to fix these right people at the right place, we won't get things right. And just like I said, this has also coincided with the sports director general as well, what is in person of Honorable Bukola. Don't forget that back in 2006 down to I think 2010, thereabout. Honorable was in charge of sport when it comes to Ogun State. So, and these people are proven when it comes to sport administration. And
we saw the success at the Gateway Games.
At the Gateway Games, exactly. See, Okwemi, I can say it for a fact. If you had the sport ministry in place as at the National Sports Festival, it would have been another story to talk about.
So I think it's a basic way of saying if you continue to do things the same way and you're not getting results, it's only foolish of you to continue to maintain that stuff. Do something different. I like the decentralization of the sports setup in Nigeria. It's helping us to focus more on grassroots right now with the National Sport Festival. The National Youth Games is going to come up in a few months' time. We just concluded the National Sport Festival as well. Enugu is also preparing to host the next edition of the National Sport Festival.
In a couple of months, we'll also have the Nuga Games as well also come up.
Gone are those days where we didn't have host seats. So I think it's a good run. And nobody should say we should not get carried away. Let us get carried away.
We have to.
When the times were down down, when the gloomy days were flying everywhere, we were soaking in the pain. Yeah. So now that the joyous moments are here, let us celebrate, let us enjoy it. The Super Falcons, maybe unfortunately there's a military administrator in Rivers because a lot of the girls are actually Borakol girls. Exactly. So I watched a clip of them heading to the finals, and they were saying they should choose their best Nigerian artists at the moment, and 80% of them picked Burna Boy. They said, oh, it's a Port Harcourt connection and all of that. But let's see how it goes. But I'm also sure that they also still get more rewards from other people around. But congratulations once again to becoming the first female to take an African team to the Olympics and also made it to the quarterfinal and the semi-final of the Olympics. So it's a good run for us. The Tigers should take the challenge. The Eagles should take the challenge.
The Super Eagles should also take the challenge.
Super Eagles. I mean, nobody needs to tell the Super Eagles what should happen. In January last year, they came second, losing the final to Ivory Coast. Yeah. And they still got national honors. They still got a lot of things. Stanley Wamba, he still got a chief title in Rivers State. So a lot of those guys got their stuff in. So imagine if you win AFCON. Me, I just want to, I want to edit my profile on social media. I'm in Nigeria. 100 meters champion in the Commonwealth Games. I just want to put all
African games
exactly. As well. Yeah. So if you're not comfortable with being around us in Nigeria,
they may be leave.
All right, guys, let's leave a Nigerian sport for a while. We'll come talk about it. Let's quickly, check some of the things that happened in Europe over the weekend. 0913-600. Much later, you can join us. But let's take a very short break. While we come back, we'll take Formula 1. The Hungarian Grand Prix was fired this weekend as expected. McLaren still did 1 or 2. But we'll also talk about all of those pre-game, preseason games are also going on strong. Manchester United won the Premier League Summer Series after playing a 2-2 draw yesterday.
They won the Premier League,
I will talk about F1. I will talk about some of the preseason, tournaments and competitions that are going on. We'll also look at some completed deals. Yes, Thomas Partey is joined the Yellow Submarine on a free transfer for 1 year with the option of another. That means he's made a...
Hello, my name is Cʀᴜɪnᴏ and I'm a broadcast journalist. Yes, my friend will tell me that I am a sport administrator by accident. Listen every day of the weekday to Sports Cruise on Mainland FM. God bless you.
Baby, you're a miracle, my life. Bang, bang, bang. Bang, 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 bang. Alright. Don't be shy. I know if you move until I see your light. I cry a river if I fit wildlife. Baby, my love, my bill. Say now your cruise I like. Show me that you're miracle tonight. Take me higher, I wanna feel alright. If I come body, baby go say you the totally. And I don't want to the bother you, but I want to if it show me. If I come body, baby go say you the totally. Me I don't want to the bother you, but I want to if it show me. One day if you see the mommy, her royal majesty, begin with fine like this. So I posted with me. I say one name if you see the mommy, her royal majesty, begin with fine like this. He's supposed to with me. I promise to kiss you before you wake up, love you without the makeup. Baby, don't break up. I touch down before the takeoff. Yeah. Luckily for me, you know my people. They say I take you personal. I know if you disagree, I'm gonna confirm if you check out. True talk, I know they run scam. Untrue for my area, so I for like give you your own crown. Yeah. Luckily for me, you too sabi. They say I want to take you personal. I know if you disagree. One day if you see the mommy, her royal majesty, begin with fine like this.
gentlemen, I'm still looking at the videos of the Tigress and those sharp moments amongst them, and it's absolutely worth celebrating for Sarah Ogoke. She's a champion, and she's won the Afro basket 5 times. Yes, she's been on the entire team that have been on that spin, not 6 times actually. Yes, she won in 2015. 2017, 2019, 2021, 2023. Interesting. Think about it. She's a doctor. She's also a mother, and she will continue to celebrate them. But let's quickly take some other sports. I will come back to talk about the Tigress. Yes, Lando Norris held up his teammate Oscar Piastri in the final laps to win the Hungarian Grand Prix as McLaren claimed a punishment for move on Lewis Hamilton. Lando Norris held up his McLaren teammate and title rival Oscar Piastri in a thrilling final to claim a stunning Hungarian Grand Prix on Sunday. After it's a nightmare start, we saw Norris drop from 3rd on the grid to 5th on the opening lap. McLaren switched the debris to a one-stop strategy that saw him gain track position over 2 stopping pole sitter Charles Leclerc and Oscar Piastri. Piastri eased past as Ferrari's Leclerc after their second stop and closing on Norris in the final stages, but failed to pass his teammates as a big block up from the Australian most resulted in a pair which has appeared to be a 2-horse race for the title, set to play out over the remaining 10 of the season's 24 rounds. According to Lando Norris, he said, "We weren't really planning on the one stop, but after the first lap, it was kind of our only option to get back into things. At the final stint with Oscar Piastri catching, I was pushing it flat out, rewarding even before of that, and the perfect result came out today." Mercedes George Russell completed the podium following a late pass on the frustrated Charles Leclerc, who received a meaningless 5-second time penalty for his overzealous defense after Ferrari strong early with his teammate Lance Stroll backing the result in 7th. Brazilian's rookie Gabriel Portoleto delivered the best result of his debut campaign in 6th, extending Saba's impressive streak of scoring points races to 6. Verstappen finished in 9th for the Red Bull after a scarce challenger to the McLarens in the driver's standing, but a woeful weekend for Red Bull saw his deficit to Oscar Piastri increase to 90, declaring himself useless following a disappointing qualifying performance on Saturday. Liam Lawson maintained his strong form by finishing ahead of Verstappen for Racing Bull in 8th, meaning Red Bull were outperformed by their own junior squad. Kimi Antonelli claimed the final point in the 10th for Mercedes to end a streak of 3 races. Piastri in 2nd for McLaren as well. This is almost what we've seen at the entire season. George Russell for Mercedes finished 3rd, completing the top 3 podium finish. Charles Leclerc of Ferrari was close, but he had a 5 seconds point penalty, and that dropped him to 4th position. Fernando Alonso of Aston Martin, Gabriel Bortoleto of Sauber, Lance Stroll of Aston Martin, Elian Wilson Lawson of Racing Bull, Max Verstappen, the defending champion, finished in 9th, and Kimi Antonelli of bringing Agbatom into this one. Let's talk about the Hungarian Grand Prix real quick. 97 points now between McLaren's 1-2 versus the defending champion. You asked me this same question last week Wednesday, and I'm going to throw the question back to you. Do you think the F1 this season is done and dusted? Out of 24 races, 14 have been completed, and there's going to be the Formula 1 summer break. There won't be races for 6 weeks, and then while they come back, is going to be on the home stretch. Is a solid push for a 1-2 finish. Let me start from here. At the start of the season, did you see this level of dominance from McLaren coming?
Well, yeah, obviously. I mean, I think we also talked about that last week, that the master stroke of what's it called now, McLaren's decision, to partner with Honda when it comes to producing their engines will more or less make the what's it called now, the season a stroll in the park. I mean, because take a look at contests, the amount of 1-2s that McLaren has gotten so far. I think they've already gotten about 8 1-2s now so far this season. For Lando Norris as well, draw. He's won the last 3 out of 4 races. And then, of course, we're now bringing Oscar Piastri into the conversation. We're now begin to take a look at how McLaren are currently leading the chart as well. But unfortunately for Max Verstappen, a lot of people feel like Formula 1. But unfortunately, the duo of McLaren, talking about Lando Norris as well as Oscar Piastri, are not even letting that happen as it stands. And apart from that as well, when you now cast your mind back at the Austrian Grand Prix, that was the first Grand Prix of the season, of the year. I think that was also back in January as well. And the fact that McLaren had the 1-2 in that one, Oscar Piastri coming in first, and then what's it called now? Lando Norris also, eating P2 in that particular one, and you now begin to see that Mark feel the season is as done as and dusted, declared as the winner as well. I am at the end of the season, but you now begin to now take a look at other teams as well. Unfortunately, with Hamilton, his marriage with Ferrari has not, seemed to bring in all of those fruits that we expected. He came out to say,
at the second practice. See, I've followed Lewis Hamilton for more than 10 years. From his early times at McLaren before he joined Mercedes. He struggled to be the face of Mercedes against Nico Rosberg. His consistency, 5 times champions.
And at the Hungarian Grand Prix, a lot of people expected better from him because he has won 8 times. No driver comes close.
He has won 8 times on that. So a lot of people felt like it was supposed to be like a comfort zone, but I've never, in all of my years of following F1, I've never seen Lewis Hamilton that defeated. I mean, he's always a very positive person. But after the practice session on Friday, he came out to say he's not sure. I'm not sure if
we say this every time. You leave as a
he's not the oldest driver on the grid.
He's not the oldest.
There's Fernando Alonso.
He's not the oldest, but I think his decline started about 2 years ago. If you agree with me, his decline started about 2 years ago. He should have known this is a new generation of drivers. There's Lando Norris,
these boys are pressing anything.
See, they will drive you to make decisions that ordinarily you would not even want to make. Just like I said, Lando Norris has won 3 out of the last 4 races. When it comes to this season, these sportsmen and women deserve the right to call time on their career when they deem fit. Okay, we also need to keep on saying this fact that okay, you have to leave when the ovation is at the loudest, not when you now begin to get disgrace on the tracks, you begin to get disgrace on the court, you begin to get disgrace as well, across board as well in other sports. This thing remains that Lewis Hamilton should perhaps find a way and then get to retire.
I'm sure you know my position on this.
I know.
I'm very, very consistent with that. I've always felt that there's a level of greatness you attain that it would be
a disrespect.
Yes, a disrespect. Then when Lionel Messi has a bad game, they can make an excuse for Lionel Messi. It's about preference. But again, I also think I want to align with what you said. When Serena Williams was so obsessed about equaling McGregor's open era of 24 Grand Slams, she was losing. She was getting beaten by Naomi Osaka. She was losing those stuff, and I'm like, wait a minute.
None of them.
Nothing can take away your greatness. Whether you equal McGregor's record or not. The same thing is also playing out with Novak Djokovic. He's also obsessed
about also extending that 25.
McGregor's 25. I understand. It's just like, going for maybe, let me say, Guinness Book of World and break it. Maybe like 10. When you do 10 hours, 1 minute.
1 minute.
You've broken that record.
But you
also want to extend more so that whoever wants to make an attempt can probably find it difficult to do that.
So
sometimes
records are to be broken.
That's the deal.
If you set a record today, tomorrow and that person can break the record. In fact, not just break, but shatter the record.
To that conversation of Sᴘᴏʀᴛ and Hurricane. But hey guys, let's quickly switch over to football. Biggest story in this transfer window would have to be about Newcastle's Newcastle's Alæģ BŠ, because I'm kind of thinking Liverpool are already pulling their weights to bring him in, and Newcastle also planning for life after him. They've made a bid for Benjamin Sesko from RB Leipzig, £63.5 million, and would form German Bundesliga last season. 13, only 13. We'll talk about Ademola Lookman's unfortunate situation with Atalanta and Inter Milan. The deputy director of sports had also come out with a statement that yes, there was an agreement when PSG came for him last season, but the agreement was that it would not be sold within the next 1 year to a team in the Italian Serie A. So maybe Manchester United should go for him. But hey, let's see this one real quick.
Manchester United who? What is the deal at Man United?
Well, I mean, a big club.
So big club, and the Africa best player of the year should be playing Manchester United. That's a disrespect to Africa.
Okay, I agree. For the very first time.
That's a disrespect to Africa.
You don't catch me. Well, Newcastle striker back at training ground after Liverpool bid of over £100 million bid from Liverpool on Friday worth £110 million. And Liverpool faced Newcastle on the 25th of August in the English Premier League. Alex Isaac reported the Newcastle training ground on Monday after his personal training camp in Spain. Days after a bid from Liverpool of over £100 million was rejected by the Magpies. The striker was back at Newcastle's facility on Monday morning after arriving back in the UK from Spain on Saturday afternoon. Isaac spent more than 3 hours inside the studio and is understood that he was receiving treatment. Isaac has been training at his former club Real Sociedad headquarters on his own after missing Newcastle's preseason tour of Asia. It's been understood that Liverpool's opening offer of £110 million for Alexander Isaac plus add-ons. However, the total offer did not reach the £120 million evaluation by Newcastle. Newcastle do not want to sell, and they value Isaac at £150 million. But on Saturday morning, Newcastle made a £70 million offer for RB Leipzig Benjamin Sesko as they attempt to line up a replacement for Isaac should he decide to leave Newcastle. Marcel also wanted by Manchester United. We won't go into any details on that, according to Marcel Schaefer. But when I say that several clubs have shown interest and strong interest have been made also an approach, it is obvious that has happened. The rest of the Newcastle squad are due back for their preseason tour of Asia on Monday. Now, let's look at how sure the future of Ishak would be. On Saturday, head coach Eddie Howe confirmed the club have turned down a bid from Liverpool for Ishak, but he's unsure what would happen next. I'm very much removed from anything that is happening back home, according to Eddie Howe. I was made aware that there was a bid on Friday, and that bid was turned down all before I even heard about it. There are people back in England dealing with the situation. I really don't know what is going to happen next, but from our next season. Now, let's look at why Alexander Isak seems to be one of the most in-demand strikers in the transfer window as we speak. Alexander Isak scored 23 goals in the Premier League last season, only bettered by Mohamed Salah of Liverpool. And the Swedish international has outperformed with the expected goals of 20.42, underlining his elite-level finishing and composure in front of goals. The 25-year-old consistently finds space around the penalty spot where he converts a high proportion of his shots, but is far more than a poacher. 6 of his 36 efforts from the outside of the box for club Liverpool that want Alexander Isak, about £150 million evaluation for a player that had not gotten 100 goals yet, that had not even gotten 50 for Newcastle. I mean, yes, it was £100 million, £110 million, both of the bid rejected by Newcastle.
To be honest, only Mohamed Salah scored more than Alexander Isak in the Premier League last season. Just like what we mentioned as well, he's that striker that you really can't even take your eyes off as a defender, really, because he's always there, always going to, arrow you. He's going to play at your shoulder as a defender. Don't forget as well that, he was also instrumental in Newcastle winning their first trophy in over 7 years. I remember the semi-final, him scoring the semi-final, him bullying.
Final loss is better than the final loss.
Yeah, actually. But for Alexander Isak, I think, he absolutely deserves it. A few years ago, I think 7 years, he was playing as a second fiddle striker at Borussia Dortmund. Before he also got his move out to Real Sociedad. He helped Real Sociedad as well to also win their first trophy in it is high time he also left Newcastle Tᴏᴜᴛ because obviously, Newcastle have the money, right? They can pay him whatever amount of money he wants to get. Newcastle will also be playing the Champions League for next season, but the truth still remains. Newcastle cannot offer the same competitions or cannot be a major striker in Newcastle at the moment. Last season, Callum Wilson left Newcastle and he has now joined West Ham United. So now it's high time for Newcastle to now start looking for replacement for Alexander Isak before his transfer now comes down on them when they least expect. But $150 million for Alexander Isak, I don't think I have a problem with that. And we can now begin to hope, right, that
he is a top top player that still caught his own at the English Premier League.
Maybe he used to be a top player, to be honest. But I think he has fallen well off his
It was bad for Leicester City last season.
It was really bad. And I just hope that he can now perhaps find his feet now that he has now joined Besiktas as well in the Turkish Super League. And maybe have some form of bromance when Besiktas as well as Galatasaray meet next season.
Yeah, let's see. Let's quickly run through some of the transfer that have been completed. Then we'll spend a couple of minutes to discuss a friendly match
game
against Newcastle in US, and he didn't leave US with the team. So because he has signed for LAFC, so we'll talk about that. Where does he rank in the league of, maybe they don't have too much legend in Tottenham Hotspur, and that is a banter. I don't care how you take that.
It's not even a banter. It's the truth.
It's a statement of fact.
Yeah.
Okay. Good evening to Okwe and Atomi Baba. I noticed that since that athlete changed nationality to being a Turkish, I think Nigeria thought within themselves, in order not to lose more athletes, they need to stay rewarded. I agree with you, but before you get rewarded, it's not just you not changing nationality. You need to win and make us proud. That would also make you happy.
Favour of Phillips still represents Nigeria, by the way.
For now.
Yeah.
I think the switch has not been ratified yet, but it's been approved. So
but
let's keep that
as far as we know, she still represents Nigeria.
Okay, Chelsea had added another player to their squad, and they have signed defender Ġeral from Ajax for £37 million. Tottenham Hotspur captain Sᴘᴏʀᴛ is also leaving the club after spending 10 years at the club, as Spurs had gone on to sign Paulina from Borussia from Bayern Munich on a loan deal, making him their third summer signing.
By the way.
And Slot's side made another record-breaking bid for Newcastle and Sweden forward and slug Alexander Isak will keep our fingers crossed. Chelsea and Everton also agreed. It's like Man U and Newcastle will be in the battle for RB Leipzig. Benjamin Sesko will keep you abreast of all of those. Well, let's see how it all to Everton. With the Blues have also accepted an offer from Burnley for Leslie Ugochukwu. The Londoners have spent approximately £240 million on new players this summer, but have already recouped over half of that by moving on 8 unwanted players, selling the likes of Noni Madueke and Felix as Georges Petrovic. They brought approximately £129 million to Chelsea, more than any Premier League side should dribble. Okay, Dribble's deal has also been confirmed, and both of those would cost Chelsea, would give Chelsea extra £50 million. I mean, that's some good deals by Chelsea for Chelsea, by the way. Well, for West Ham United, David Moyes believes that there will be more deals for Everton. Speaking after his 6-2 draw against Manchester United in the summer series on Sunday, Everton boss David Moyes thinks they are getting much closer to making more signing for the trophies. I think there will be more deals next week, and let's see how that would also come up. We'll come back to that real quick. Let's pick some calls. Hello, good evening. Welcome to Sports Cruise. Hello. Hello. Okay, I hope you are not a Chelsea fan, because this season I'm subscribing for full Chelsea banter. Let us know what we are doing. By the way, Chelsea would wear the CWC gold badge for the next 4 years. So people should be ready to live without bully.
And so what?
You did not play in that tournament. I wasn't talking to you.
And so what?
I wasn't talking to your likes. Hello, good evening.
I'm a Chelsea fan.
And so why are you proud?
But Tommy said something that the Man U has won Premier League, and you say he's bringing banter. What banter? They never win Premier League like this. They don't win them now.
Premier League.
Then as for Newcastle, instead of them to go and buy players that score 13 goals, they should come and buy Jackson. Now at least it's a proven.
Jackson is worth £80 million.
If they buy Jackson for 80, he's a Premier League proven striker already. You don't even know the one you are bringing if he will be able to fit in. So you can go for this one. That, of course, Jackson play almost the same thing like Isaac. It does have most times.
Good evening, Okwe and Agbatomi. I like what the president is doing with rewarding these players. It will only inspire them to do more, win more, get more rewarded. A big shout out to what you guys are doing on Milan FM. Thank you very much. Let's talk to my code that will go on Facebook. Hello, good evening, Mike.
Hello.
You're welcome.
Okay.
Agbatomi.
Baba.
You see that you are a bad person, no?
Which of the two of us?
It's Agbatomi.
Thank you.
What did I do, Abe? What did I do?
Be specific.
Thank you. For you to say, going to Man U is disrespect, and you are advising Victor Osimhen to go there.
I know where you are going to.
I'm supposed to shoot you from here. Honestly, to be sincere, I'm supposed to shoot you from here.
Please, this honestly, is a non-violent show.
To be sincere, no, serious. So you can tell me it's disrespect for Lookman and not disrespect for Victor Osimhen. I will keep that for you. Not
Lookman is the current African player of the year. Don't forget.
Osimhen was.
He was.
Immediate pass.
Old glory, no be glory.
So Lookman is current. So Victor Osimhen is back.
Old glory, no be glory.
Keep serious victory at this over Senegal. And please, how I wish Super Eagles can make us proud when it comes to Nations Cup.
Hopefully.
To be sincere, I pray, because if they did not, on this radio station, we will banter them, we will beat them. In fact, they will hear them. Serious here. I really wish them best of luck.
Thank you. Before we wrap up the conversation today, it's crazy, right?
Yeah.
How we were here thinking that Harry Kane would be the greatest player to ever play for Tottenham Hotspur. Why do you play Sᴘᴏʀᴛ, especially on the back of the European title that they won for Tottenham last season?
The greatest player ever for Tottenham.
Sᴘᴏʀᴛ?
Yeah.
I think I agree with you. And that takes us back to what my conversation had always been. I respect numbers. Yeah. Highest goal scorer, highest assist, all of that. But every single record in terms of goals scored can be broken immediately. If you score 500 goals for a club,
in descending order.
So because Eagles won the World Cup, here we go. Okay, guys, we need to take a break and leave the studio. I thank God we don't have enough time to have that conversation because I'll off your mic. Well, by 7 o'clock, you need to join Cordelia Okwe and Alex O on the Legacy Lounge. And today, their guest is going to be Lemmy Jackson. Hey, it's going to be amazing, by the way. It's going to be from Osibisa to BLO to making many of Nigeria's biggest hits. Lemmy Jackson tells his story on this week's Legacy Lounge. That is the next show you get to listen to. Stick around.